So I'm making a big old Yellowbelly Swimbait for the Murray cod at Copeton Dam. It is, where's my little ruly, 190mm to the tail. This one's actually going to have a tail too, it's going to have a polycarbonate tail. And yeah, I'm going to stick it on to this beautiful piece of western red cedar. Check that out. Second hand. So pretty. So there's the profile. Got the joint cut. She's just hanging on. I cut it a bit too close, so shaping it's going to be a bit dicey. Try not to snap it out. But yeah, she's got a nice big profile, just like a yellow belly. Nice big fat belly, big fat top, tapered head and a tapered tail. Because God, I can't talk. Now I'm just going to mark some chamfer lines and get onto shaping it. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to figure out where my lead holes are going to go. Yeah, I'll do that first. Figure out where the lead holes and screw wires are going to go. Oh, can't even see. Where are we? There we go, that's better. There's the first lead hole. Stab your little poker in. It's the front hook hanger. So as you can see there, hook hanger in between the two lead holes. I'll move this one back a tad. That's at the front lead holes, and then I'll do the one to the back here too. So there's the back lead holes, and then hook hanger at the back. Sweet, drill those out. There we go. Two big lead holes in the front, big one in the back, and also a small one. I'll see how that goes first. It might potentially need more lead just because there is so much buoyant timber in this lure. Now I'm just going to carve them all out with my knife and finish shaping and sanding the body. And this is harder than it looks to carve with a knife. I might actually take this to the belt sander. Yeah, I'm going to take this to the belt sander. That's going to take me forever and I'm just hacking at it. Oh, I need my mask. I forgot how gnarly this stuff is on your lungs. Bloody hell. Oh. There's all the chamfers. It was way easier on the belt sander. Made a real quick work of it. Now I'm just going to hand sand it. Finish shaping the old girl up. So I've finished sanding. It's just sanded down to 120 grit right now. Look at that grain. It's absolutely beautiful grain in this timber. No mistake in that. I've just marked in all the gill plates. Where are we? Focus, camera. There we go. I just marked in all the gill details and the gill plates. And yeah, it's about time to start carving. A couple of 12mm sockets. So there's the rough carvings. Now I've got to go in with some microfiles and really get in there and smooth it all out. It's the first time I've ever carved details into Western Red Cedar, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan. Hey, it's just super soft, and it just doesn't, like, it just blows out super easy. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but you got to learn somehow. There's the finished details carved in. And the gills under there. It's quite nice. To really define all the edges, I'll go through with just some microfiles here. They really help to get a nice defined edge on the timber. There we go, not too shabby. Alright guys, so I got the holes drilled for the joint connectors. Now I'm just going to go seal it up. I'm not going to film myself sealing because it is night time and I seal outside. So I'm just going to go do that, and then that's it for today, and I'll pick it up again tomorrow. Alright guys, so it's the next day. And I've got all the lead in there, just taped in. And then just the joint hardware, just friction fitted. And I'm going to sit the hooks in, and it's time to give a ballast test in the water, or a float test, and see how she sits in the water. Alright, let's give this a crack. You'll have to excuse the chainsaw in the background, neighbour's chainsaw this morning. Super buoyant. Needs much more lead in the belly just to hold it on balance. It's definitely going to be a floater. That's okay. I just need to get more weight in there to stop it tipping over like that. Get it to sit nice and solid in the water column. Yep, I'll put a bit more weight in there and test her again. There we go, that sits much better. Sits nice and stable in the water. Its head's under. It's about 2 inches sitting in the water, 2 inches. So that's pretty good. He's definitely going to be a floating lure just because I use such a buoyant timber. And he's got such a girthy body, like there's so much on him. Just depends if he's going to work as a wake bait. That's my one concern. But I can always test him. Once he's got the tail on too, he'll have a bit more weight. But I think I'm going to put a bit more in there, just to really make sure it's going to be nice and stable in the water. Oh. So there's the bottom holes all done. I had to fill in this big section here because I blew it out, so it's a little bit rough, but it's all flush with the body, and once it's all sealed over, a couple more coats of sealer, you won't even notice it's there. Now it's time to cut out this polycarbonate tail and get working on that. So there's the tail. I just use the little Dremel to get some little details in there. It's all sanded down and rough just because I am going to paint it, and I need the paint to adhere to it. So it's got a little bit of detail in there, and I can always put more in when I'm painting with a brush. Yeah, I got to pin it into the body now. So there you go, I just got him pinned in there. Come on, camera. Yeah, tail's pinned and glued in now. I'll just use a screwer and I'll cut it off. And then that's my cod tail. Nice and square. Sweet. There you go. There's the bait put together, fully assembled. Got a good amount of movement in that tail too, look at that. I'm stoked with how it is. Oh, where are you? I'm stoked with how it's looking so far. I don't know if that's in focus. This camera is a bit... There we go. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, hey. Now all I need to do is seal it up again. Time to paint. Bait's all sealed. And ready to go. There you go, check that out. Nice and smooth. It's got 3 coats, I think. Yeah, 3 coats of sanding sealer. And she's ready to get her base coats. Well, base colours I should say. So there's a Yellowbelly perch, just there. As you can see, they got big bright yellow belly, and into some gold in the flank, and then up into some dark mossy greens up above the lateral line. Only small scales too. Some nice red fins here. They look really beautiful. Could spray some of them on. Still can't talk. Yeah, anyway, so it's very natural colours. Where's my other one? And there's one in the water, as you can see. Lots of green, lots of gold. It's all broken up and a bit splotchy. Yeah. Nice dark green tail too, so pretty simple. Pretty simple colour scheme, only like 3 or 4 colours. So let's get started. I'm just going to lay down a base of white and then some yellow and go from there. So first thing I'm going to do is lay down some Wicked UV base just to help make those colours pop at the finished product. Yeah, let's start that. Spray it out here though. Stuff's a bit brutal. Don't want it to get in my brain. So there we go, got that UV base down. I'm not actually sure if I'm meant to put it under the white or on top of the white. I guess I'll find out in the end. Now it is time for the white, just a nice white base coat. So the yellow is just gonna go along the belly and then come up to the bottom of the gill raker, and then a bit of shading up in the mouth here as well, and doesn't go too far up the body. As you can see, it gets faded in about halfway down, so I won't make it as bright yellow there. I'll fade it out. Now let's get into that next step. Sorry about the compressor noise. It's a bloody noisy little thing. So there's that there. Came up a bit, just faded it up. Next thing I'm going to do is put some sand across the back, just a light dusting of sand, just to tone down that white a bit. She's a bit full on, mate. Let's get into that, shall we? How's it? What?
You're recording. I was walking and did a huge burp.
It's going in the video.
Oh no.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing.
So there is the sand on there. Just brings it in nicely. Now I gotta check my reference photo, see what colour is next, whether it's scales or green. I think I'll put the green on first and then the scales potentially. But let's have a look, eh? So I'm thinking I'm gonna come in the top with the green, and then maybe also just a tiny bit of transparent black, and then I'll come over with the scales after that. Oh, it's fine, gonna work. So they're quite a blotchy fish as well. They're quite a funny looking fish, like a big football swimming. But yeah, looking at this, I can see scales. Oh, what should I do? I think I'll put the green on first, and then I'll put the scales over it just to really blend everything in really well. So I'll get onto that, just some green on the top and fade it down the sides, and onto the head and onto the gills. Yep, that is the next step. Now the green I have is a tropical green. It's going to be a bit too bright. That's the bloody darkest one I've got though. I don't have any moss green at the moment. I don't have any really supernatural colours. So I might darken it down just with a drop of transparent black. So I'll mix some tropical green with a tiny bit of transparent black, and that should see me through it. Get off my lure. It's all this crap getting stuck to it. Yep, so I'll jump onto that. So I just mixed up basically a full cup of bright tropical green with 2 drops of transparent black, and it's got a nice dark mossy colour to it now, so it should be perfect. There's that, there's the green. That's pretty well bang on. That is looking very, very, very good. Very happy with that so far. Alright, next step is scales. I'm just going to give it all a quick dusting with some satin gold, just nice and light. Probably won't be able to pick that up in the camera, but very subtle shimmer. You just have to believe me that it's there. There we go. Super subtle, just like I wanted. The scales aren't super pronounced, so that's why I wanted it to be nice and subtle and only put a small amount on. Fades down into the belly, but still has a really nice shine. You can still pick it up on the right angles. That's perfect. Now I'll do the other side. And there you go, there's the same on the other side. Looks beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to come in on the gills, just with the paintbrush, and just give it a little bit of texture. Bit of gold and some more sand and some more green. Just keep it natural, not too excessive, just nice and light. So I'll see how that turns out. A bit hard to pick up on the camera. That gold's just giving it that little bit of definition, a little bit of shine. So there you have it. They gave it a nice orange fin on the side and an orange chin too. It looks quite nice. It's actually the first fins I've ever sprayed on in that way. It's probably the second bait I've actually ever sprayed fins on. It looks quite nice. What are we going to do now? I was thinking about putting 2 other small orange fins at the back piece, but I think I might leave it for now and just stick with this one. So I'll come in with the black now, just to finish up. So there it is, guys. There is my Yellowbelly perch. Nice natural colours, very simple paint scheme, but very effective. Really stoked with how it looks, hey. Very, very happy with it actually. Just so simple and uncomplicated, but very, very, very effective. Okay, now we can put on the first coat of clear coat. Looks pretty schmick. God damn, they look good. I don't mean to... Actually, screw it. I'm very proud of myself with how that looks. That looks so bloody nice. Alright, let us come back to this when it's fully dried and it's got both coats on it. Woohoo! So I've got this thing off the dryer, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it looks bloody smick. I'm so stoked with how it looks. Best work I've done so far in my opinion. And let's get it all joined up and glued up. Woohoo! Oh damn. Alright. Moment of truth. Oh, it's looking pretty good. It's looking very good. That was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Now just let that dry. Man, that was easy. Didn't even get any epoxy crap in there. Sometimes I really surprise myself. Ah. There it is, everyone, all finished. And it looks bloody smick as. I'm so stoked with how it looks. It's my best work to date, in my opinion. Best lure I've made. I don't even know if it works and it's the best lure I've ever made just because it looks so bloody good. Super realistic. Nice subtle scales, they blend into the background colours, that dark green and the yellow. The orange fin looks beautiful. The gill details look amazing. The eye looks amazing. That little bit of extra gold and sand and green texture I put on the gills stands out and looks great. So yeah, I'm super happy with how it looks. Very, very proud of it. And it's probably just going to hang on my wall, to be honest. It's just Looks bloody incredible. Alright, the very last thing to do is actually put some hooks on it and see if it actually works. Or if it's just a wall hanging, even though it will just be a wall hanging anyway. So let's do that and go swim it in the neighbour's pool. Absolutely beautiful. Super happy. Doesn't work. It does not swim. Kind of swims, just as you saw in the footage. If I can get its head down, it'll swim. Just do a side wobble like that, which is not ideal considering it's a jointed swim bait. But to be honest, I never really had a lot of faith that it would work. You know, it's got such a thick profile, and it's got such a high profile too, that I had to put all the weight right here under that highest part to make it sit nice and evenly. So, and being made out of Western Red Sea, that's such a buoyant wood, it's not going to sink, so it's not going to swim properly subsurface or anything. So there's a few flaws I should have maybe considered doing, but to be honest, I just wanted to see if I could make it and see if I could actually make big proper swim bait that looks really nice, and I did, so I'm really happy with that. What I could have maybe done is put a lip in here, a nice big lip, and made it a wake bait, but you know, hindsight's 2020. I'm still super happy with it. It's basically just, I'm really happy with how symmetrical it is, how the gill carvings turned out, and how the paint job turned out. I'm just happy with how it looks in general, aesthetically, how it looks. Aesthetically, there we go. How it looks aesthetically. Oh my god, that word is hard to say. It's aesthetic. And it's good to look at. Let's just say that. It looks good. And I'm very happy with it, and I'm going to hang it on the wall, and it can be a little decoration. But yeah, for future models, I'll make sure I use a different type of timber. I'll slim the profile across the back, make it a lot thinner, and yeah, a whole bunch of other stuff probably. Needs more lead. Needs most of the lead here and here, I believe. Probably more lead here than here, because that's where the biggest pieces of lead are. And then yeah, just get it to sink like that. And then if it was a sinking version, it would probably just swim, just like that, and glide. So I've learnt a lot from this swim bait, and I'm going to use that knowledge in future designs. You know, it's my first proper big size swim bait, and you know, that's the thing with lure making. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's what prototyping is. So I'm actually probably going to make a couple more of these off camera and just prototype around and try to get one to work, and I might sell some in the future. And yeah, that is it. I might actually, I don't know how big this thing is. Let's measure it. It is 4 200 mil, or what's 200 millimeters? 8 inches. So it's a big bait, big 8-inch floating swim bait. It just didn't work. The weighting design isn't right, but for this type of timber, yeah, super happy with it. It's a beautiful lure. It's going to look really good on the wall. And I've proved a lot to myself with this lure of what I can accomplish. And I'm looking forward to making more technical and more artistic baits, and pushing myself as an artist, I guess, because I'm self-taught and everything I know how to do in terms of painting and layering. So yeah, that is it. It is done, and the next bait is already drawn up and ready to go, ready to start next project. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.